Alright, so this is kind of just, let me lower this mic a little bit. It's just a little test to see audio, but I thought since we were doing these choose your own adventure books, I'd go over the author a little bit. And his name is Edward Packard. And I thought I'd just do a little snippet from the Wikipedia article here on him.
Edward Packard, born February 16, 1931, is an American author in addition to his work as a lawyer, essayist, and poet. He was born in Huntington, New York. He is a graduate of Princeton University and Columbia Law School. Packard came up with the original idea of writing second-person fiction, in which the reader makes choices that affects how the story unfolds. While thinking up bedtime stories for his children, who each clamored for a different ending to his stories. He published the first 3 books in this genre, originally called The Adventures of You, after which Bantam Books offered him and his first publisher a contract for a series rebranded and made famous as the Choose Your Own Adventure series of children's books. Early career. Packard read the first known book of this type, Sugarcane Island, in 1969, and arranged for it to be published in 1976 by Vermont Crossroads Press. Owned by Constance Capel and Raymond A. Montgomery Jr., Packard explains in the foreword to the book that he developed what he originally called the Adventures of You fiction format while trying to think up interesting bedtime stories for his 3 children, Andrea, Caroline, and Wells. In Sugarcane Island, the shipwrecked reader travels around the titular island avoiding dangers at every turn. Many of the possible endings feature an unfortunate demise, although escape from the island is possible if the correct choices are made. Choose Your Own Adventure. The Adventures of You on Sugarcane Island was the exact prototype for books in Bantam's classic Choose Your Own Adventure series. In 1969 and 1970, the William Morris Agency submitted the book on Packard's behalf to several major publishers, all of whom rejected it. In 1976, Packard was able to get the book published by Vermont Crossroads Press. In its review of the book, Publishers Weekly called it an original idea, well carried out. In 1977-1978, Lippincott published Packard's next 2 books in the same format, Deadwood City and The Third Planet from Altair. Their covers alerted readers to their unusual nature with the rubrics, Choose Your Own Adventure in the Wild West and Choose Your Own Adventure in Outer Space, seeing potential in Packard's idea of an interactive book. Bantam Books launched a series called Choose Your Own Adventure in 1979. This contact with Bantam Books was made by Constance Capel on a flight to the Atlanta ABA conference with the then head of marketing, Jack Romano. Vermont Crossroads Press had first sold the rights to the series to Pocket Books and then had them transferred to Bantam. Packard read the first book in the Bantam series, The Cave of Time, a time-traveling story in which the reader explores a cavern that is a portal to different eras. Along with R.A. Montgomery, his original publisher at Vermont Crossroads Press, Packard wrote many more books in the series, contributing well over 60 titles by 1998, when the series ended. Packard kept the series fresh by changing genres with each title. In addition to the time travel story of the first book, he followed up with the next half-dozen stories based on suspense, spy fiction, space opera, western, mystery, science fiction, and fantasy. Packard himself even appears in a case of self-insertion in the Choose Your Own Adventure book, Hyperspace. Packard was the only author to have a consistently recurring character who appeared in many of his CYOA books. A scientist named Dr. Nera Vivaldi frequently appeared as a friend to the reader character. She seemed to be ageless as she appeared in stories set in many time frames, including those that took the reader into outer space, although in later books she does appear to have aged at least into her 50s. In the aforementioned Hyperspace Drive, Vivaldi makes an appearance that actually breaches the fourth wall, acknowledging that she is a fictional character that the reader recognized from other CYOA books. In 2012, Simon & Schuster began releasing revised and expanded print versions of Through the Black Hole, Return to the Cave of Time, and The Forbidden Castle under the U Ventures trademark. Packard also conceived of the idea and read the prototype books for 3 more interactive series, Space Hawks and Escape, both published by Bantam Books, and Earth Inspectors, published by McGraw-Hill. He also wrote a non-fiction book about the size and scale of space and time, titled Imagining the Universe, and published by Berkeley in 1994, which was cited by Scientific American as one of the best science books for young readers of the year and by National Public Radio as one of the best science books of the year. His educational math book, Big Numbers, published by Millbrook in 2000, was cited by Newsweek as one of the best children's books of the year. Citation needed. The 6 books in the Space Hawk series, dealing with Earth's defense against space aliens, were published in mainland China in 2004 in anticipation of China's first manned space mission.
So, yeah, so a pretty prolific writer, still turning out books. Well, I guess they're getting re-released by Simon & Schuster, but he hasn't done anything since 2004. I kind of want to see the cover for the Space Hawks series. Just, just to do some more reading. But I've got the second book in the Escape from Tenopia series ready to go, so I'll probably get into that later. And that was kind of just an overview of Edward Packard's career. So I think it's a good time to put in a little video break right here. Alright, so we had a little break in there, and now I can just do whatever I want with the stream. I think it'd be kind of cool. Keep moving on. But here's, okay, so there's Silver Hawks, but not Space Hawks. Space Hawk series. 6 books. Space Hawk series. For China. Space Hawks, Choose Your Own Adventure book series. Faster Than Light. Edward Packard. For $3.79. Interesting. That's how cheap you can sell a book. Oh, damn. What if I do PDF? What's this? What did I click? I chose the wrong thing, probably. Yeah, so no freebies. No freebies on his book stuff, on his older book stuff. So if you'd like to check out his good reads, Edward Packard. I think just check out all these books, man. Space Hawks, Alien Invaders. Large cover. Hold on. Look at that. It's like they're looking at like a hologram of a space battle between a giant bug and a little spaceship. That's kind of cool. Yeah, it kind of makes me want to draw stuff, honestly. Anyways, let's play some video games. And maybe look at the maps for maybe read the intro. Yeah, let's just read the intro and this stuff. We'll probably read it again later, but you know, do some preliminary stuff. I don't even know.
You are about to find the galaxy. Left exclamation mark. You're in. And how lucky you are. Will you succeed or will you be trapped forever? Lieutenant, it's entirely up to you.
It's always entirely up to you. Let's check the live stream volume.
Will you succeed or will you be trapped forever? Lieutenant, it's entirely up to you.
It's always entirely up to you. Let's check the live stream volume. And there you go. Alright, check that. That sounds alright. So how does your balloon crash? Hey, good. We are starting withdrawn. Withdrawn. Someone stamped this book withdrawn, man. Someone rented this from the library and scanned it in. That's kind of cool. Yeah, it's kind of interesting how a lot of cities have built a whole bunch of infrastructure for disseminating information freely, but now the government's trying to, you know, kind of trying to block that off and prevent information from being distributed freely. But I mean, the authors don't want this stuff distributed freely either, but they're not necessarily in audio video form. They're in a form that maybe the kids will never enjoy, book in print. So maybe a greater audience can be received by just a video. I'm digging this drawing. I would, you know, this really makes me want to just get a pen and draw some. And I think it's a skill that'd be just good to work on every once in a while. This is a really nice, refined drawing. And it looks like it was drawn in a quick fashion. You know, not to waste any time, just to get something down. And I think that's kind of a cool way to draw, actually, is the speed drawing type thing. Oh, look at these dolphin faces. Okay. You are seated in the basket balloon with your friend Ken Rugg. Man, we just met Ken Rugg. Oh shit.
You are seated in the basket of a balloon with your friend Ken Rugg. Drifting high over the Silurian Sea on the planet of Tenopia. You are a diplomat from Earth. While on a diplomatic mission to the Mylian cluster, your spaceship was hit by a meteor. Miraculously, you managed to jettison alone in an escape pod. You crash-landed on Tenopia, the fifth planet of star system Tenopia. After many adventures, you located Ken Rugg and set out across the sea in his balloon for the continent of Carbrin. On Carbrin there is a base of the Galactic Patrol, and you hope to return to Earth from there. Suddenly you see an ominous-looking bank of clouds ahead. There is no way you can avoid them. Your balloon drifts right into the dark, swirling mass. The balloon is tossed about in the wind and falls rapidly. The wind howls around you. Desperately, you and Ken Rugg look for things to throw overboard to lighten the balloons. Wait! You loss a pile of blankets over the side. Ken Rugg tosses out a coil oil rope. The balloon rises for a EW moments but then starts to descend again.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We need to raise this balloon. Okay, wait. We're supposed to go to page 11. Page 11. Right there. Oh, we get a big map. Alright. Alright. Hold on. What's going on? Celeria? Oh, man. Alright. Just above the surface of the foaming sea. Oh, and then we go back to page 2.
Soon LAG basket of the balloon is skimming just above the surface of the foaming sea. Then the balloon lands in a trough with the waves lowering over you on all sides. WIIH crash. The basket smashes into the top of a wave, sending you flying out through the air and deep into the water. UKTCK off your shoes, struggle to the surface, and look up. Free of your weight. The balloon slowly rises with Kinrug still in the basket. He tries to find a rope to toss to you, but the only one has already been thrown overboard. Then the balloon is caught in a gust of wind and vanishes into the clouds. You are a good swimmer, but the huge waves crash down on you, forcing you under. Gasping for one last breath of air, you see some dolphin-like creatures leaping in and out of the water not far away. At least the bodies are like dolphins. The faces are strangely human-looking. You sink into the water. Losing consciousness, you think to yourself, this is it. You're sure you'll never escape from the planet Tenopia. Then suddenly you are awake. You are lying on a slab of smooth stone in an underwater cavern. Underwater! Exclamation mark. But how can that be? You aren't a fish and yet you seem to be breathing. You raise your head and look around. Several creatures of the kind you saw just before you sank into the sea are hovering nearby. Then you hear voices in your mind talking to you by mental telepathy.
That's quite good, actually. They're talking to you by mental telepathy. Okay, so yeah, I crashed. That's great. Let me turn back to page 2. And we're in SeaWorld. Are you alright? One creature asks. We had to give you an emergency operation. We implanted gills for you to breathe with underwater. You got gills, man. Alright. That's baller. But how terrifying would that be? Look, this is the problem with looking at this in the browser, is sometimes it locks. Sea SARMs of Philippines, Silurian Sea, edge of the Great Storm. You know what we could do right now is we can go ahead and we can get pictures of these maps and put them together into one master map. How did I do it last time? I think someone knocked at the door, so we go check for mail.